the moment I'm benefiting from being here in so many other ways than just studies, like formal studies. I'm a musician, I'm a teacher here. So at the moment, I'm just happy enough to stay here. For me, it's like life studies at the moment. So I'm just studying life, and as I said, it's bringing me very happy, very prolific experience and results. So I could find good job in Poland as a teacher of English as a foreign language, but I think the pay would be much lower. Okay, and I think that Poland at the moment has a lot of very well qualified people as well that struggle to get jobs, although they are very qualified and they are educated and everything. That's why they emigrate, I suppose, and decide to try something else. Just decide to go through a different journey, outside of the box called Poland, for example.
Yeah. Do you remember the moment when you decided to stay?
The moment when I decided to say it's really like me being thinking about what else can I actually do here that would bring me more experience for when I'm back in Poland. I could use it, reuse it, and share with other people in Poland, because like when each time anybody comes back to Poland, that comes back from immigration to Poland, they experience a lot of cultural shock there because they are used to different conditions, not only economical conditions, but also, I would say, different conditions, mindset conditions, I would say. So I said, I need to bring something to my country as like kind of wealth of experience, so I could share with other people there, because I've been somewhere else and now I'm trying to share it with others. So I said, I will better stay, because at the moment I'm gathering this experience for it to be used later. So this is basically what I'm doing here and why I'm here.
Did I understand you correctly? You said when you turn to Poland, you get a kind of cultural shock.
Yes, this
Could
culture.
you describe it? What kind of shock is it?
Cultural shock is, for example, when you are used to certain conditions in your country. Before you go to a different country and experience something. Experience, for example, that people live in a different way, okay, or people react to things in a different way. For example, people in Poland wouldn't smile as often as people here. So when you come here, you realize that wow, people are, or externally they look happy, they smile, so you smile back. So when you come back to Poland, for example, when you smile, people look at you as if you were from a different part of the world. So this is a culture.
Why don't Polish people, why don't they smile?
Why don't they smile? Right, this is a whole idea behind this, I think. What I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm right, this is my perception just. The perception is that people, because they concentrate on lack of things in many countries, like in Poland, people say, oh, we don't have money, we don't have this, we don't have that. And also the whole idea of media contributing to this picture, both of those factors create that kind of atmosphere that people are kind of unhappy, and they stop realizing that there are so many precious things in their environment that they could appreciate and therefore be happier.
Could you give some other different examples for this, concrete examples for this cultural shock you get if you return?
Culture shock would be that, like people, you are in the streets of Poland, for example, or you are in your family, whatever, you actually hear people saying sad things or complaining about things, or about the situation, how hard this is, what happened, and so on, that you start realizing that, wow, am I a different, or have I become a different person? Because I know that these things exist. I know that everybody kind of experiences the same things, no matter where you are, but it's your mindset that defines your state of mind and how happy you are. That, when you hear those things, you think, or do I belong here, or where am I now? What kind of identity do I have at the moment, And if you start bringing the saying, guys, like you concentrate on positive things, because if you concentrate on positive things grow in your life. If you concentrate on negatives, the negative things will grow in your life, you know. So
But maybe the negative things to describe them is more honest. But don't people here sometimes? My impression is they are going to play a kind of positive
oh
theater.
yes,
They're
yes,
always producing
yes.
this illusion because they think life will become better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe that the Polish people are more honest. Yeah.
Honesty, I think it's more about, I would say, there is a difference in obviously in the perception, but there is no difference when it comes to people being influenced by external factors. For example, people here would be influenced by local society, community, by media perhaps, by people around them, where everybody's saying, how are you? I'm fine, and there is no other answer to that, or so, which is kind of okay, I'm middling. People in Poland say, okay, it's, old stuff, that is sadness being, that kind of thing. So I think both actually sides are being influenced by their communities, and therefore there is no difference between them. There is a difference in context, what they say, but there isn't a difference as far as the level of influence goes. Yeah.
Well, you talked about a cultural shock, yeah? That means this culture here is more exciting, more inspiring, or do you think you can develop more here as an individual? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, what I think.
But what is your identity here? Does it it's also do you also play a part, a role here? Yeah, it is easier for you to take a special position also in a hierarchy. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is easier and it's more difficult, depending on what angles we are looking at it from. Okay, it is easier because of the economic status here in Northern Ireland. The country is wealthier and richer and all that. Therefore, there are more resources. It's more difficult because I'm an outsider. I mean, physically, I am an outsider. Although I have, like, common name that is Daniel, my surname is unpronounceable to people here. Therefore, they immediately know I'm not from here. Okay, so they always ask me, I say, this is very important for me to kind of stress when I start talking about it. I'm going to go back to it in a second. So it is more adventurous for me. In a way, it is more beneficial to me to be here at the moment. Where I'm sitting, standing, whatever, like what I'm doing, and therefore it enriches more my experience more because, like, I always put myself in that thinking out of the box condition, that although it may be stressful sometimes, it may be not easy for me to be in certain situation, but it actually shows me that whenever I am in a difficult situation, I can reach for my resources that I never knew about. I never knew that they existed before in my character.
What is the stimulation for that?
Stimulation is, why am I, like, are you asking why am I doing it?
Yeah, but especially how are you able to do it? Yeah?
How-
What positive stimulations do you get?
Like the positive stimulation, I think it happened by trial and error first. So I tried it. I said, okay, this is a difficult situation, but if I go through it, I grow personally. So if I grow personally, people start considering me, oh wow, you do these things, we don't do it. So therefore you start inspiring other people to do similar things, or maybe not similar things, but at least to follow the example of putting yourself in non-convenient situations where you actually reach and kind of find that personal power within yourself.
You have to go through the hell, or you have to walk on a path of sufferings?
No, it's really going through things that you're not comfortable with. Sometimes you feel more comfortable with those things, sometimes you feel less comfortable. And you're asking yourself a question, why am I doing it again? And then after you are done, you realize that you've just pulled off a thing that a lot of people don't pull off because they are paralyzed by fear. There is that, I think the exciting thing about this is you try to, when you do it, also you grow, you start noticing that you are stronger and stronger in a society. Well, I was brought up in a society that that was basically difficult to exist in because of that attitude of people kind of looking at the negative sides only. I'm not saying that looking at positive sides only is good, but a kind of very extreme point here. And I'm here not, maybe it's extreme for me, for people here, it's not. But you actually bring those two together, find maybe your path in the middle.
And maybe also in Poland you have special social chains.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And here, for example, it's easier for you to invent yourself.
Yes. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. It is easier for me to actually, I have the green light because for many things, because I'm not from here, so basically people would say, oh, he's not, he does these things, but he's weird, he's not from here. But I actually take power in it, create some leverage, push these things forward, and actually show that what I'm doing is really reinventing myself, and not because I play the sitar, not because I'm a person that has emigrated. It's not those things that make you grow stronger, but things that put you out of your box. And you're paralyzed by fear first, but later you realize that you can do it, and because you can do it, you grow and you inspire others. I think the incentive for me is also to inspire others, because I believe that people are also born to be, people are born to be happy, and people are also born to help others become happier with their lives. So this is basically why I'm doing, this is the kick, this is the adventure, this is the adrenaline, that has emerged out of what I'm doing, putting myself outside of the box. Indian music, yeah, again, this was another out of the box situation that I put myself in. When I came here, started my studies, and I thought to myself, I need to do something else. I worked in a restaurant as well, but this was not inspiring for my spirit. So I thought, I need to do something. I need to do something with music, because musician is what I really am, and what I think should do as well. So I joined an organization, a community organization here, and that was an organization that dealt with 50 people from 18 different countries playing music together. So I was just jamming, and I said, this is interesting. People from Africa, people from India, people from different parts of the world started playing in an African music band. That African music band started working with a different organization that happened to be Indian. I come from a very small town, as I said, like 40,000 people. It's maybe not very small, but it's quite small, right? There isn't multiculturalism there, and if you go further up north, you will find a bigger city, actually, but there is no multiculturalism there. If you go to Warsaw, yeah, you will, but I didn't live in a big city. I was living in a small city, again, a small town, but here it's like, it's very prevalent. You can see people in the streets that are from different origins, and you can hear their music, and you are exposed to those things. You can actually, if you want it, you can try those things and see if they work for yourself. There's no monopoly. Again, we are going back to the topic of monopoly, but that kind of thing. Polish people in general, I think, they are very strong people, but unless they go out and check it and see it for themselves, they cannot define this, because in their country they need to do so much to get so little. If they go and try the same attitude in a different country, do so much, they will get much. So Polishness is being, like, if you think about Poland from the 90s or 80s, where people say, like, especially in Poland that was under the communist regime, and say, so whatever is on, if you think about the West, those people are wealthy, those people are, they have the power and everything. So that created in the society the feeling of being inferior, and that's why it although it is not, it's not official, it's not maybe so evident, it's there, it's in people's character, it's ingrained in people's behavior. And unless they just go and do it, just instead of thinking what may happen, just instead of thinking what may happen if I don't succeed, you just need to go and do it. This is basically a basis of everything.
Yeah, nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose. You know, you either, if I'm to be happy, I may go through hell first just to reach this level, instead of just dooming myself to years of constant unhappiness. I would go through hell first, although it's not hell, it's usually you think it's hell. But people tend to exaggerate the problem very often. People that you used to be with in your country, in Poland, they say, "Oh wow, you're doing well. You know, it's great. This is a great effort." Saying, "No, it's not. It's the decision. This just happened in a flash. I go and do it, and when you do it, you will experience something similar. If I'm able to do this under this circumstance, I can do it anytime." So it means that it's the mindset and what we attach to it rather than the conditions. I feel I'm so powerful. It's still manifesting, it's still growing and everything. I still struggle, fight and everything with my own kind of weaknesses, but the journey has been worth. But the decision should be there first. The feeling, the pursuit of happiness should be there first.